Okay, all right, guys. Good evening. We are back in our free classes kasi it's our anniversary. Happy anniversary to everyone. Okay? So thank you so much for Sir Remy. Nandito si Sir Remy, siya po ang ating kasama na magdi-discuss sa atin about taxation. So meron tayong comprehensive exercises na kanyang ibibigay sa inyo guys, no? Fresh na fresh ang kanyang magiging discussion. So of course, I would like to say thank you to everyone who enrolled with us, okay, sa mga students na who are following us, to our re-enrollees sa ating mga scholars. Thank you so much for trusting CPA Online Review School. And then of course sa ating mga reviewers na sinubukan si CPA Online Review School, and thank you so much sa lahat ng aming mga partners na kasama namin bumuo dito sa CPA Online Review School, and then it became into a reality. Okay? So, good evening kanila Ma'am May Lorena. Wow. David Zion, Janice, Cynthia, ang dami natin mga listeners ngayon. Kay Ma'am Bailey Olivo. Yeah, so we will have a lot of may mga prizes po tayo guys, no? But of course, as our anniversary promo, ayan, I would like to invite you everyone to enroll for only 6,389 pesos only until November 11. Okay? Kasi 11/11, so yung early bird pa namin na 7.5, binawasan pa natin ng 11/11 as our promo, so 6,389 na lang. Okay? So, yan ang aming anniversary gift sa inyong lahat. So, thank you so much, guys. Okay? So, yeah, again, this is CPA Online Review School. So, ito ang aming page or aming website. Makikita nyo cpaonlinereviewschool.com. Makikita nyo ang mga courses dito. Sino ang mga reviewers? Okay, and then sige, pakilala ko sa inyo ang ating reviewers today, which is yan. Si Sir Remy for our taxation. So si Sir Remy is a cum laude guys, no? Nasaan ang kanyang profile dito? Papakita natin sa inyo. Sir Remy, ayan. So si Sir Remy is cum laude sa FEU, okay? And then currently taking up law, okay? Future attorney natin to, future lawyer natin to si Sir Remy. And then of course, he is a finalist. He was a finalist 10 outstanding student of the Philippines. So, ang experience ni Sir Remy is exposed siya sa taxation while he was in SGV, and then of course right now, meron siyang BIR and SOC compliance for non-profit organization. Okay? So yeah, guys. So I think you have to enroll until September. Okay, until September. Sorry, guys, until November 11 na lang guys, no? Which is ito yung magra-grab nyo ng 6,389 only. And then ito pang kagandahan guys, meron tayong mga trivia, okay? Na kung saan pwede kang manalo ng up to 500 or 3,000 pesos, and then of course, ayun, sagot ka lang kung sino yung mauuna, and then siya ang mabibigyan ng discount, okay? Siya yung mananalo, okay? So which is si Sir Remy ang bahala sa inyo for that, okay? So hello Sir Remy. Ayan.
Hi, sir.
Ayan,
And
good
hello din po,
evening.
participants.
Ayan,
Good
oh, marami
evening.
tayong participants dumarami ang ating participants sa Facebook. Okay, so
Yun.
mostly nasa Facebook tayo ngayon, and then marami tayong mga students for that, and then we're going to share this to the other groups. So, yeah. Okay, Sir Remy, I will leave the floor to you.
Okay. So let me just share screen na para makapag-start na tayo. Okay, I think we are now ready. Wait lang. Ala. Wait lang guys, sa uting setup lang. And I think we are now ready. Hello. Hello everyone, and welcome to today's lesson on taxation. So ngayon, medyo i-modify natin yung scope ng ating lesson because today we're gonna talk about not just only VAT, but some of the key concepts na kung saan napapansin ko yung mga estudyante ay may mga confusion, minsan o kaya medyo naguguluhan. So hopefully ngayon, based on this 10 questions na isasagot natin, ay ma-clarify natin yung some of the kaguluhan sa taxation, 'di ba? Because once again, alam natin yung taxation is one of the easiest subject sa board exam. Okay? And all throughout the discussion, minsan mag-drop ako ng mga trivia questions, and I will expect you, yes, you mga participants to be active. Tapos, yung mga trivia questions, isend nyo lang through chat yung mga answers because we're gonna giving away vouchers sa sa pag-enroll nyo. So ngayon, di ba discounted na nga, pwede pa siya ma-reduce pa, okay? We're gonna give away vouchers na worth 500 pesos, and sa mga iba, sa mga lucky few, may mga rin. Basta, maging generous tayo ngayon. Okay? And with that, let us start with our discussion on taxation, a quick overview or a quick concepts. Ngayon, para ay, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, napakita ko yung answer sa first trivia question. Sorry. Ano ba yan? Sige, babuin ko lang ito mamaya. Okay, so mga trivia questions is yung mga ganito. Minsan, mga riddles, minsan mga fact-based, questions, okay? Pero ito, avoid natin to. Dahil, sorry, na ba tawag dito? Napakita ko agad yung sagot, okay? So dahil dyan, actually dapat ito yung natin pang exercise, papatest ng activeness mga participants. Pero unfortunately, napakita ko na. Okay? Kaya dito, let us move on na sa question number 1 out of 10. Tax remedies. Okay? First question. If a taxpayer is found liable for deficiency tax or taxes in a course or an investigation or audit conducted by a revenue officer, the taxpayer shall be informed through a notice of blank. Such notice aims to fully afford the taxpayer with an opportunity to present and explain his side on the discrepancies found. Okay. So first question, lang to, theory lang naman. Kaya hopefully hindi man masyado, medyo madali, okay? And also, I'm currently monitoring rin the Facebook, Facebook comments. Okay? So, pwede nyo i-chat kung ano isip nyo na sagot dito, okay? Para at least medyo active there's an interaction between us. Ha? So, para sa inyo, ano sagot dito? Sa pinaka-unang question natin for today, notice of blank. Anong i-describe natin dito? Okay? Now, ang sagot po dito is the notice of discrepancy. Okay? Discrepancy. Ngayon, bakit notice of discrepancy? Yung iba sa inyo, baka magulat kayo na ito yung first time nyo na may rinig tong word na to, notice of discrepancy. Which is understandable naman. Kasi, for the notice of discrepancy, isa po ito sa mga pinaka bagong updates sa tax. Okay? Dati kasi, or mga few months ago, ang tawag sa kanya is the notice of informal conference. Okay, pasensya na kung mapangit ang sulat ko, alam ko na yan. Huwag niyo na ako i-bash. It's notice of informal conference. Yan yung tawag sa kanya dati. Ngayon, ano yung tawag sa kanya? Iniba na po ang pangalan niya. From notice of informal conference, naging notice of discrepancy na. And this is based or amended by Revenue Regulation number 22-2020. Okay? So ngayon, bukod sa mga ibang key concepts, syempre, di-discussion natin yung some tax updates, okay? And this is one of the key updates that we must know. Again, wala na pong notice of informal conference, tapon mo na yan sa labas dahil useless na yan. Dahil ni-replace na po siya ng notice of discrepancy. Okay? Next, By the way, yung notice of discrepancy saka notice of informal conference by substance, same pa rin siya eh. Parang halos the only thing change between the two, it's the name. Ha? Again, wala masyadong difference ang NIC or notice of informal conference or notice of discrepancy. The only main difference lang is the name. Ayan. Punta naman tayo sa question 2. Ngayon, in line with naman tayo sa updates natin. Let's now talk about Bayanihan 2. Which of the following is not one of the provisions under the Bayanihan 2 Act? So in other words, saan dito ang wala sa Bayanihan 2 or hindi isa sa magiging update sa Bayanihan 2? Isa-isayin natin. Donations of gadgets suitable for online classes to private and public schools of all levels are exempt from donor's tax. Question. Yung one ba, kasama ba to sa Bayanihan 2? Ito ba isa sa mga provisions ng Bayanihan 2? The answer is no. Okay? Hindi po siya isa sa mga provisions ng Bayanihan 2. Bakit? Kasi dito, may siyang mali na word. Okay? At ano yung mali na word dito? The word private. Private school. Okay? Dito sa Bayanihan 2, may donor's tax exemption lang pagdating sa public school. So pag ikaw ay nag-donate, let's say mga gadgets pang online classes nga, dinonate mo sa isang private school, you're still subject to donor's tax. Well, as a general rule. Pero if you donated to a public school, then you're exempt. Okay? But honestly lang, kahit wala tong provision ng sa Bayanihan 2, kasi sa NIRC, kahit wala yung Bayanihan 2, it is still exempt. Okay? So ang tanong, what's the difference? Ba't pa ito in-insert ng Bayanihan 2? Well, first, I think, is to emphasize the exemption from donor's tax. 2, the Bayanihan 2 does not only exempt it from donor's tax, but also from importation tax and VAT, okay? Ang dami dyan exemptions nilang donor's tax, okay? So parang dito, ang purpose ng Bayanihan 2 is to emphasize or reiterate yung para-exemptions niya sa donor's tax, ha? Again, ano Bayanihan 2, pag nag-donate ka sa public school ng gadgets, yan nga, exempt ka po sa donor's tax, VAT, and some importation tax. Next, 2, yes, this is one of the provisions. Kasi, I think pag nakikibalita kayo sa Facebook, and recently dami nag-share, na yung NOLCO ay nag-extend from 3 years to 5 years, okay? But only for NOLCO recognized during 2020 and 2021. Next, retirement benefits received by officials and employees of private firms received from June 5 to December 31, 2021. Okay, ngayon, kasi, ang nangyari kasi dito, pag nalagay yung natin, yung rules natin sa retirement benefit, exempt po siya. Pag yung sa 50-10 rule, 50 years old and 10 years siya nagtatrabaho dyan, okay? Para maging exempt, again, dapat at least 50 years old siya and 10 years siya nagtatrabaho kung saan siya nag-retire. Ngayon, alam ang difference niya sa Bayanihan 2. Sa Bayanihan 2, wala na po itong rule na to. You don't need to be 50 years old or 10 years ka nagtatrabaho dyan. Ang importante, nag-retire ka between June 5, 2020 and December 31, 2020. So ito, mali po ang number 3 dahil ang nakalagay dito, 1, diba? Pero hanggang 2020 lang po siya. Okay? So all retirement benefits received from June 5, 2020 to December 31, 2020 is exempt. Okay? Next, hazard pay received from human resources for health are tax exempt. Yes. And lastly, yung number 5, yung isa sa mga pinakamalaking malaking impact sa knowledge natin sa tax is natanggal niya na yung initial public offering tax. Or in other words, ito yung IPO tax under section 127 or yung sa percentage tax. Okay? Pag may kinakitang problem all about IPO, automatic ang sagot niya is 0. Well, of course, depende yung sa date ng problem. Pag ang date ng problem is, let's say, 2021, how much is the IPO tax on 2021? Well, automatically, the answer is 0. Pero pag 2020 and before, hindi po 0 ang sagot natin ha. So dito, pagdating sa IPO tax, be careful sa year. Again pag around October and beyond, October 2020 and beyond, automatic pag IPO tax ang tatanong, 0. Pero pag before October 2020, ayan, unfortunately, i-compute nyo yung, ano ba yun? Yung IPO tax. Okay? So yan po ang ating first two questions na unting updates lang sa sa taxes just in case para ma-refresh natin yung mind natin. Okay? Or at least madagdag ang awareness natin sa recent development on taxes. Okay? Ngayon, and sana hindi ko siya masyado ma-press. Punta naman tayo sa next. Hopefully naintindihan nyo naman. Kung may tanong kayo, just ask lang sa comments natin. Okay? So wag na mahiya na mag-comment or magtanong. Okay? Because wala dyan mali sa pagtanong. Kasi dito man ako para i-cater yung questions nyo. Ngayon, unting alis muna tayo sa tax. Punta man tayo sa trivia question natin for the day. Yung unang trivia questions natin. So again, ang unang-una makakasagot dito sa question na ito will receive vouchers. So, our first trivia question is, what is full of holes but still holds water? O, anong bagay kaya to? Anong bagay na sobrang daming butas? Pero kahit may butas, kaya niya pa rin mag-hold ng water. Ano kaya yan? Diba? And I'm waiting for your answers sa comment section. Ha? Again, you need to comment your answers para mapanalo kayo ng vouchers natin na provided ng CPA Online Review School. Okay, and currently, tignan natin yung comment section. Mahirap ba? Mahirap ba? Mahirap ba yung tanong? What is full of holes but still holds water? Ayun, may mga participants pala tayo. Hello sa inyo! Sige bigay pa natin ng some 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So wait lang, kasi alam ko may delay ang Zoom tsaka ang Facebook Live. So wait lang, bigyan natin ng allowance. Okay, stop na. Okay. So I think nakapag-Google search na kayo kung ano yung sagot dito. So open ang browser, type yung question, search, lumabas ang sagot. Okay? So ang sagot natin dito is sponge. Ngayon, yung unang-una nakakuha, wait lang scroll lang kasi sa phone ako nag-check. Ayun. Wait lang. Hopefully may mag-monitor nito. Hopefully may admin na nag-help sa akin na mag-monitor or mag-record. Pero sige, i-record ko rin para sure. So, ang unang nakapagsagot is si Fred na TV Dad. Okay. So, congratulations sa inyo, Fred. So, nanalo po kayo ng vouchers ng worth 500 pesos. So, itong voucher na to, pwede nyo ito i-avail habang kayo nag-enroll and mababawasan na po ng 500 pesos yung enrollment fee nyo. Okay? So, sa iba, good luck na lang next time. Well, don't worry, may iba pa tayong trivia questions along the way, ha? So, let's move on to the next question para mas mabilis tayo makapunta sa, well, supposedly third sa second trivia question natin. Okay? Ayan. So dito, sa discussion today, we're gonna be really diverse sa coverage natin. Hindi lang po mga updates, but also some aspects of taxation na hindi masyado pinapansin ng mga estudyante or minsan ng schools. Okay? Not saying all schools, pero some lang. Since alam niyo naman, tax is ever changing, tapos yung Board of Accountancy, palagi pa iba-iba ng syllabus, tapos hindi maka-keep up ang schools palagi, kaya yan yung mga reasons ko bakit dami nahihirapan sa tax. Okay, third question, it is just a theory question naman, so medyo madali lang naman. So, Johnny is a CPA whose principal residence is in Quezon City. He has a firm with a principal's office in Makati City with a branch in Manila City. He has clients located in Olongapo, Davao, and Hong Kong. Due to the worsening traffic, he finds it convenient to have a condominium in Pasay City to save his precious time from commuting. He was reminded by his secretary to pay his professional tax as soon as possible. But due to his busy schedule, he asked you, yes, you, to pay his tax for him. So the question is, in what city will you pay the tax? Ayun na. Alam ko na. Since na ano natin yung first trivia question, okay? Since na medyo na-void yung first trivia question, ito na lang natin gagawin yung next question na may prize. Okay? So the question is very simple. In what city? Okay? Yung unang-una makakuha ng tamang sagot will receive a prize nga ng voucher. Okay? So, participants, guys, students, in what city will you pay the tax? Daming city binigay, no? Para sa inyo, ano? Ano, dali na, may prize to. Pababawi sa first trivia question. So, pwede siya, Quezon City, pwede rin Manila City, pwede Olongapo, Davao, Hong Kong, Makati, ano pa? O kaya sa Pasay. O. Saan? Oh, by the way, one fact lang about this question. This may or may not lumabas noong October 2019. But remember, nag-take ako noong October 2019, so alam ko yung contents. Okay? Ngayon, this may or may not have the same question sa board exam. So, pag nakakuha ka nito, congratulations, ready ka na sa board exam. Ayun, lumabasok na yung comments. Makati, Quezon City, Makati. Sige So, papadagdag lang ng thrill, i-eliminate ko yung iba. Okay? Well, unang-unang sa lahat, when you become a CPA, you're gonna pay professional taxes every year. Tanong, saan? Of course, you're not gonna pay it kung saan nakalocate yung mga kliyente mo. Ang professional tax, walang pakialam kung saan located ang kliyente mo. Okay? Pangalawa, Pasay City, temporary residence niya to. Temporary dyan siya nakatira. Diba? Pero saan siya mainly nakatira? Quezon City, diba? Si professional tax receipt, wala siyang pakialam kung saan ka temporary nakatira. Okay? Next, hindi rin po sa Quezon City. Kasi again, wala siyang pakialam yung professional tax kung saan ka nakatira. Kaya dito, only two choices left, Makati and Manila. The answer is Makati City. Bakit? Kasi ang professional tax, kung saan ka magbabayad ng professional tax is where you mainly exercise your profession. Okay? Yung parang CPA mo, saan ka primarily naka-located na nag-work. For example, ako, nakatira dito sa Quezon City, nag-work ako sa Makati. Diyan ako yung pagiging CPA ko sa Makati. So saan ako nagbabayad ng professional tax? Sa Makati. Because that is where I exercise my profession. Diyan ko ginagamit ang lisensya ko. Okay? Diyan ako mainly nag-exercise. Okay? Kaya dito, magbabayad tayo ng professional tax receipt sa Makati City and not sa Manila City. Okay? And congratulations sa unang-una nakakuha kay Ma'am Lords Nobel Pagunsan. Okay. Sorry sa pag-name kasi I'm currently writing your name as I read it. Okay? para may record din ako. Okay? Congratulations sa iyo, ma'am. Kasi may kayong voucher from CPA Review School. So I think, ma'am, i-contact naman kayo ng ating admin. Okay? Next question. I think clear na to, no? Yung sa local tax. No? Wala na masyadong questions. I think, hopefully. Hopefully, no? Pero may question, kung may question lang, huwag kayong mahihaham, just ask away. There's nothing wrong. Ha? There's nothing wrong in asking. Lalong-lalo na ngayon na i-take granted yung opportunity. Next. So, from updates, punta sa local taxation, punta naman tayo sa 8% tax. Sa 8% tax, kung dyan isang area no, kung saan sobrang dami na confuse. Okay? In all of my, every time I teach 8% tax, mapapansin ko talaga, dami na confuse sa area na ito. Okay? So here, Gabriel Olarcorn, a financial controller of a company and a business, has the following pertinence of income during 2020. So my compensation income, gross sales, no cost of sales, non-operating income, and operating and administrative expenses. Okay? Now, the question is, how much is a tax due applying the 8% tax regime? Ngayon, take note of this. Before we answer this, syempre, unting theories muna tayo about 8% tax. 8% tax can be granted by two types of individuals. Okay? Again, only individuals can avail them. Now, what type of individuals? It can either be, first, a mixed income earner, or yung purely, hindi, or those engaged in trade, business, or profession. Okay? So either ang income mo is purely from your business, from your profession, or mixed income na kung saan ang income mo came from salaries and your business. Okay? Dito sa question, saan siya nagde-derive ng income? Compensation and sales. Dahil dyan, ang classification niya, mix. Okay? Ngayon, how do we compute mixed income? Again, meron dyan trade, business, and profession. Tapos, from compensation. We must remember, in applying the 8%, mag-a-apply lang po siya sa income from trade, business, and profession. But, income from compensation will be subjected to our schedular income tax o yung regular income tax natin. Okay? Kaya dito, it is important to separate on what income is subjected to 8% and what income is subjected to the regular income tax table. So dito, saan dito subjected sa 8%? Una, Una, yung gross sales. Okay? And second, yung non-operating income. Only these two mo lang siya isasubject sa 8%. Okay? So dito, para natin i-solve, 2,530 plus 150 equals to 2,680 times 8% equals to 214,400. Yan lang. Tapos na. Pero hindi pa tayo tapos ha, dahil may compensation income pa tayo. But we already solved one part of the income tax due. Okay? Again, one part. Yung iba magtataka sa'yo, asan yung 250? Asan 250,000? Kasi ang formula ng 8% tax is, yun nga, gross sales or receipts plus other income is equal to yung tax base natin minus 250. So, yung sagot, times 8%, at yun ang tax due natin. Ito yung regular formula. But this formula, you'll apply it pag ikaw ay purely deriving income from trade, business, or profession. You will not apply this formula if you're a mixed income earner. Bakit? Because of the 250. Kasi ang 250, hindi mo siya makita sa 8%, but makita mo siya dito sa tax table. Basically, ang 250 dito, sa 8% ay nalipat sa compensation. Kaya sa computation natin, wala po dyan ang 250. Okay? Kaya ngayon, let us now apply the tax from compensation. So, ang compensation income natin is 1,520. So, wala na dyan deductions or what. Kaya diretso na natin to i-apply sa tax table. Okay? So, anong bracket ito siya mag-apply? Mag-apply po siya sa bracket na 8 million to, 8 million tuloy. 800,000 to 2 million na may tax rate na 30%. Plus, I think it's 130, tama. 130. Okay? So, 1,5,200 minus 800,000 is equal to, wait lang 1,520 minus 800,000 equals to 720. Wait, unting erase ko lang to. Times 30%. So, times 30% equals to 216. Plus 130 is equal to 346,000 pesos. Okay? Pero dito, remember, tatanong, how much the tax you apply in the 8% tax regime? So here, you will not answer this in two separate answers, okay? You need to combine this, ha? Kaya dito sinabi, yung 8% tax regime, you still need to combine it. So it's 214.4 plus 346 is equal to 560,000 pesos. Hindi, 560,000 and 400 pesos. Ito po ang sagot natin. Okay? Hopefully clear. And medyo na-clarify rin kahit pa paano ang kaguluhan natin sa 8%. Okay? Ayun. So, any questions? Kung may question lang kayo, just ask away. Nakalimutan ko na trivia question na naman pala, Nick. Alam mo, nakakalimutan kung when yung trivia question. Okay. So, next, may trivia question naman po tayo. Ayun. The next trivia question. So, ito yung third. Okay, third na. Third question na may prize. Okay? So, our third question is, the more of this there is, the less you see. What is it? Medyo napaano ako dyan eh. Again, the more of this there is, the less you see. What is it? Ano kaya to? Ano? Asan na yung mga ano natin? Asan yung mga comments natin? Yung mga, oh, by the way, sa mga nakasagot dati, you can still participate, okay? Kasi ganito yung pag-apply ng voucher eh. For example, kayo na nakapagsagot ka, you can still answer. So that will make your, kung nanalo ka, your vouchers 1,000 pesos na. Okay? So dito talagang collecting talaga ng vouchers talaga. Okay? Again, sa manang ko ng vouchers kanina, you can still participate. Ha? Para at least, mali mo, baka mabot ng 2,000 yung discount mo, diba? O kaya 5,000. Okay. Asan yung mga comments? Uy, medyo dumadami. Ayusin ko lang. Okay. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cut. So, ang basic ko dito, the more there is, the less you see. Ano kaya to? The answer is darkness. Welcome to the dark side. May nag-comment ng love. So pag the more you love, the less you see. Anong Patrick talaga? Ayun. Sila nagsasagot ng tama. Uy, dami nang sagot ng tama. Alam ko na. Dahil medyo generous tayo ngayon, and medyo na-instruct yun sa akin kanina na pwede ako magbigay sa mga ibang nagsagot. Okay? Yung unang-una nakasagot, si Tin Alay-ay, okay, Tin Alay-ay, ay makaka-receive ng 500 pesos worth ng CPA Online Review vouchers. But, syempre, since medyo ako ngayon, since malapit na yung Pasko, hindi lang po siya, okay? Sa mga sumunod, you'll also receive vouchers na worth 100 pesos naman. Okay? So, ang makakuha ng 100 ay, wait lang, nag-record po ako dito. Magbibigay tayo ng 3 additional 100 peso voucher. So, una si Yel Melencio Cañete. Sorry kung naano ko yung name mo. Cañete. Si Lourdes. Uy, Lourdes. Naka 600 pesos ka na. Lourdes Noble Pagunsan. And, Ice Dark. The more there is. Sige, pabigyan na lang natin. Sige, ipagbigyan natin si Ice. Sige, since medyo generous tayo ngayon. Sige, okay na sa akin yung Dark. Ice Makaboto Muhammad Ali. Sorry talaga sa ko sa pronunciation sa names nyo, please forgive me. Kasi hindi man ko English major, kundi isang accounting major. Okay? Ayun. So thank you sa nag-participate. Ngayon, balik na tayo sa realidad. Question 5. Okay, medyo nasa kalahati na tayo. Actually, kanina, dami sa binigay na trivia questions eh. Pero kung lahat, dahil syempre, yung oras, baka ma-overtime tayo masyado. Tsaka, syempre, para magtipid din kami, no? Charot. Okay. Question 5. Donors tax and DST. You transfer a residential property with a zone of value of 3.5 to your brother for consideration of 1,250. How much is the donor's tax and documentary stamp tax due respectively? Okay? And syempre, dahil may choices, I think, sige, pwede na rin. Ano ba yun? Sorry, na-distract ako. So again, may prize po ito. Okay? So may prize question pa tayo dito. Again, so pag nakasagot kayo din ng tama, meron kayong additional 500 pesos voucher pa. Okay? And sa mga unang, so yung unang tatlo makakasagot. So yung una, mga 500, yung pangalawa 100, and yung pangatlo 100, okay? Sa unang tatlo makukuha ng tamang sagot sa question na ito, ayun, may additional prize po sila. Kaya, compute away. Okay? Compute na po tayo dyan. Para sa'yo, ano sagot? A, B, C, or D? Ano? Ito kasi, nilagay itong question na ito kasi recently lang na pinakita ko to sa questions na ito to one set of students. And dami nagtataka kung bakit yan yung answer. Okay, dami nagtataka, bakit ganyan yung answer? Ano rationale niya? Kaya gusto ko tong question na to eh. Simple lang, sobrang simple lang niya. Pero, wala masyado nakakuha. Okay? Go, comment pa! Para sa inyo! Anong sagot dito? Is it A, B, C, or D? Okay, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Actually, kahit kahit hindi ko pa nag-reveal yung answer, pwede pa kayo magsagot. Okay? Okay. Una, let's start off with, ano kaya unahin natin? Donor stamp tax. Unfortunately, hindi po siya ang sagot. Okay? Hindi po siya ang sagot. Kasi po may documentary stamp tax po tayo. So yan na, isang clue hindi po siya ang sagot. Yan na, bigay ko isa pang chance. Kasi dami nagsagot ng C eh. Okay, isa pang chance. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sige, unahin natin yung documentary stamp tax. Okay? Hindi ako mag-accept ng answers ha. DST on real properties. So yung natin discuss. How much is a DST on real properties? First and foremost, syempre, what is the rate? Okay? The rate of DST on properties is 15 pesos per 1,000 pesos. Okay? 1,000 pesos of what? Per 1,000 pesos of okay, ano ba yun? Sorry, ano ba yun? Sorry, nawala ako, natuwa ako sa comments eh. Per 1,000 pesos of the consideration or the fair market value, whichever is higher. Remember, pag real properties, always apply the whichever is higher rule. Mapa tax, mapa income, donors, DST, always. How much is the higher? Yan yung apply natin. So dito, what is higher? 3,500 or 1,250? 3,500. So how much is a donors? Is that, documentary stamp tax? 3,500. 123 divided by 1,000 times 15. So ang sagot natin dyan ay 52,500. Okay, so I think obvious dito, no other answer than A. Okay? So 52,500 pesos. Ngayon, what about yung donor's tax? Bakit siya zero? Bakit siya zero? Yan yung isa sa mga reasons kung bakit dami nagko-confuse. Okay? This is not subjected to donor's tax. Ha? Iba magtataka sa'yo. Mas baba ang consideration kaysa zonal value. Di dapat mayroon siyang donor's tax based sa difference. So 3,500 minus 1,250 times 6%, donor's tax na, diba? Minus 250. Actually, no. Okay? Hindi po ganyan. Because we need to recall one thing. Okay? Wait lang. So, sana naintindihan nyo to. We need to recall one thing about donor's tax na most of the time nakakalimutan. And that is the capital gains tax. Okay? Again, capital gains tax. Anong kailangan ng capital gains tax dito sa donor's tax? Kasi po, pag ang property is subjected sa CGT, no need to apply donor's tax. Okay? Dito kasi, hindi po siya subject sa donor's tax, kundi sa CGT. Wala pong donor's tax dito. Bakit? Kasi remember, ang rule natin dito is the higher, diba? Higher ang gagamitin natin. 3,500. Okay? Wala siyang pakialam kung nasolve yung property, higher or lower. Basta kung yung whichever price is higher, yung tax natin, okay? So, times 6%. Ay, hindi. Tama, times 6% na CGT. Ngayon, pag yung 2,250 is na subject natin sa donor's tax, di double taxes na siya maging sa subject, 'di ba? Magbabayad pa siya ng capital gains tax, magbabayad pa siya ng donor's tax. Lugi, 'di ba? Lugi ang taxpayer. Kaya sabi ng batas, kung yan po ay subjected sa capital gains tax, no need na po mag-donor's tax. Okay? Kaya ganito mag-a-arise yung question. Di naguluhan na kami. 'Di ba minsan sa problems, yung transfer ng property pwede subject sa donor's tax. Pero dito, sir, sabi mo subject sa CGT. Paano ba talaga ang rules ang gulo? Well, actually, hindi siya magulo. Ganito yun. Ngayon na-explain ko na. Para at least, hindi na tayo, para next time na ma-encounter natin dito, hindi na tayo magkakagulo. Okay? First of all, real property. The first thing we must ask is it a capital asset or an ordinary asset? Okay? Again, is it an ordinary asset or a capital asset? Here, ang property natin is residential property for personal use. All properties for personal use are considered capital asset. Again, pag personal ang reason niya, capital asset agad. Ngayon, mag-branch out na naman siya sa dalawa. It is either with consideration or without consideration. Okay? With consideration and without consideration. Actually, sige. Dito, pag sa capital asset as with consideration, automatic subjected po siya sa CGT. Pero pag without consideration or walang bayad, subjected siya sa donor's tax. Dito sa problem, may consideration ba? Yes, how much? 1 to 50. Dahil dyan, automatic, CGT po siya at hindi po donor's tax. Okay? So hopefully, clear na yan. Dito sa ordinary assets, kasi, una, yung sa consideration, it depends pa rin, 'di ba? Medyo pang dalawang branches is either ano ba 'yun? Below fair market value or almost at fair market value, okay? For example, ito, ordinary assets to. Let's say isa siyang ordinary asset. Is it subject to donor's tax? Pag siya isang ordinary asset, then yes. Is it subject to donor's tax? Okay? And even without consideration, subject po siya sa donor's tax. Pero dito, ano na siya, subject na siya sa regular tax. Okay? Yan lang naman. So hopefully na ano yung gaguluhan natin dito. Clear naman ba? Kaya po siya zero ang donor's tax dahil again, may consideration, capital asset, edi capital gains tax. Okay? And not donor's tax. Okay? So, balik tayo sa ang unang nakakuha dito is C. Congratulations kay kay Divine Olivia Corrales. Nanalo po kayo ng 500 pesos voucher. And then yung other two, yung nakasagot ay makukuha ng 100 peso voucher, si Ice Makabato Muhammad Haru. Sorry talaga. And Amaline Melension Cañete. Okay. Gracias sa inyong dalawa dahil 100 pesos po kuha nyo. And again, kay Divine, makukuha po kayo ng 500 pesos. Hopefully, clear na? Wala bang questions? Okay. Bumunta tayo sa next question. Individual income tax. Remanuel, a resident citizen, has the following income during the year. Determine the net taxable income if he chooses OSD. So yun na, OSD discussion naman tayo. Remember sa OSD, ang rate natin is 40%, ha? Question, 40% of what? It depends. First, kung ikaw ay isang individual, and second, kung ikaw ay isang corporation. If you're an individual, your OSD is based on your gross sales or receipts, while sa corporation, ang basis niya is your gross income. Okay? Again, pag ikaw ay individual, your OSD mo is based on gross sales or receipt, while if you're a corporation, based on gross income. Ha? So remember, yung path na ito o itong illustration na ito. Ngayon, let's move on to the problem. First thing, is he an individual or a corporation? Of course, an individual. So itong path na kukunin natin, gross sales or receipts. Kaya in order to find how much is our OSD, we must identify what are gross sales or receipts. Okay? First, dito, unang line, receipts from sales, kasama ba sa GSR? Yes. COGS, kasama ba sa GSR? No. Rental income, kasama ba? Yes. Operating expenses? No. Compensation income. How about compensation income? Kasama kaya siya sa sa gross sales and receipts para compute natin OSD? Para sa inyo, kasama ba siya o hindi? Napapansin ko lang pag pag may price dyan lang may manag nag-chat, tapos pag walang price, wala nagko-comment. Okay, pero okay lang yan, understandable naman. Okay? So again, compensation income, is it part of our gross sales or receipts? The answer is no. Okay? So here, we're gonna compute our OSD muna, ha? So, ang OSD natin is 3 million plus 3,380 times 40% is equal to, wait lang, saan ba yung calculator ko? Na, wait lang, saan yung calculator ko? Ayun, kita ko na. Is 1352. Okay, 1352. Okay, this is our OSD. Ngayon, why ang compensation income hindi kasama sa OSD? Bakit hindi kasama compensation sa income sa OSD? Because OSD replaces business expenses. Okay? Again, OSD replaces your business expenses. Ngayon, may business expense pa tayo sa compensation income. Wala, diba? So bakit natin yan isasali sa pag-compute ng OSD kung wala naman siyang business expenses? Saan lang connected ang business expenses? Sa gross sales and receipts, like this two. Okay? Kaya po, again, sa pag-compute ng OSD, hindi kasama po ang compensation income dahil ang compensation income, hindi man po siya connected sa business expenses. Ha? Sana. Mag-clear na yan. Diba? Tignan nyo, diba? Sa mga previous questions, may mga pampagulo dyan. At yan yung habol ko dito. To clarify yung mga kaguluhan sa inyong isipan pagdating sa buwis. Okay? Remember, tatanong dito, the net taxable income tatanong ha. So, hindi pa tayo tapos dito. So, alam na natin yung OSD natin. Next. Let's now compute how much the net taxable income. First, we're gonna get our receipts from sale plus our compensation income is equal to, wait lang, saan ba yan? Ano number ito? 6, diba? 3,380 plus 220 is equal to 3,600. 3,600 minus OSD na 352. 1,352 is equal to 2,248. Okay? So yan po ang net taxable income natin. Diba? Okay? Oh, tsaka by the way lang ha, onting notes lang about corporation. Kasi dito sa OSD, pag individual, nire-replace niya yung COGS tsaka operating expenses. Ngayon, what if corporation naman siya? How much is the net taxable income? Pag corporation naman ha, of course, ang corporation, wala siyang compensation income. Kaya imposible to ha. Again ha, in the context of corporation tayo. Ngayon, what if it's a corporation? Ang basis natin is yung gross income. Okay? Ngayon, paano natin ko-compute yung OSD? Una, kunin natin yung TT80 sa kanina, okay? And then, ito yung nakaiba sa kanya. Yung COGS. Ma-minus natin siya. So, TT80 minus 102 equals to 3278. Tapos dyan mo na siya ita-time sa 40%. So, makuha mo is 1,311,200. Pansin yung difference, dito sa individual, walang COGS. Pero sa corporation, may COGS. Bakit? Because again, ang basis niya is gross income. Pag gross income, remember, gross sales plus receipts minus discounts, etc. minus COGS equals to gross income. Okay? Kaya dito, ang ano natin, ang net taxable income natin if this is a corporation, kung natin yung 3278 minus 1311.2, ang sagot natin is 1,966,800 pesos. Okay? So, yan po ang ano natin, sagot, pag ito ay corporation. Yun. Lagi naman ako nagugulat naman trivia questions. So, gulat lang ako palagi na may trivia questions pala next slide. Ayan. So, unting break muna tayo sa tax kanina. I think medyo, 'di ba? Nag-upgrade na tayo sa hardness, sa kahirapan ng questions. Kaya ngayon, pwede naman tayo pampachill lang ng mind natin. Trivia question number 4. what has to be broken before you can use it? Okay? Anong dapat sirain para magamit mo ulit? Ha? Ang purpose niya talaga, nung unang pa lang, kailangan siya sirain. Sirain mo, bago mo siya magamit ulit. Ha? Kahit ilang beses mo siya, feeling ko to, puso. Feeling ko puso. Actually, hindi ko alam yung sagot eh. Kalimutan ko. Pero feeling ko puso to. Bet ko puso. O kaya tao. Okay, so ang price natin dito, yung unal, yung alam ko ba natatak yung kung magkano ko na, kano ko na pamigay? Wait lang. 500, okay, 500. Lang ba mamaya ma-over ako. Pero yung sagot ko, puso. Okay, may budget pa tayo, guys. So dito, ibibase tayo sa official answer na binigay ng Okay, so based on computation, ayun, kunin natin yung top 3. Okay, again, yung unang-una, makukuha niya is yung 500. Second and third place will both get 100 pesos each. Okay? So dito, ano yung sagot natin dito? Sana puso. An egg. So yun yung sagot, an egg. Hindi ako gumawa nito FYI. So huwag kayong magalit sa akin. So nanalo natin ng 500 pesos is si Rowena Santos. Rowena Santos. And yung second, si Lords Nobel Pangunsan. Gabi na ka, magkano ka na? Give chance to others. Sharing. Okay lang maging competitive. Bilang CPAs, dapat maging mga future CPAs ka maging competitive. And lastly, si Divine Oliva Corrales. Congratulations! But remember, hindi pa ito yung last trivia question natin. Okay, I think this is the second to the last. I think. Yes, I think this is the second to the last. Ayun. Oh! Gawin na. Ano oras na ba? Okay, it's 8:02. Okay, sakto online pa tayo. Oh, medyo nakakapagod mag-tax, no? And that, punta naman tayo sa next tax question. I think wala 7, 8, 9. Okay, 4 questions left. Don't worry, medyo, I think madali na yung iba. Okay, I beg to differ. Okay, hindi pala madali yung iba. Okay. Punta tayo sa excise tax. Sweetie Fruity Juice has imported 60 cases of its pineapple-flavored powdered fruit juice from Vietnam. Each case contains 138 sachets with 24 grams each. Due to its high concentration of fruitiness, each sachet serving suggestions is 1.6 liters. How much excise tax is due if it contains purely non-caloric sweeteners? Okay, excise taxes. Isang alien na subject na naman sa iba dyan. Okay, first time na ito may encounter. First of all, what type of excise tax pinag-uusapan natin dito? The taxes on sweetened beverages based on the train law. Siyempre, after train law, isa sa mga dyan na pinagtatalunan is dahil sa train law, tumaas ang mga presyo ng Coke, mga sodas, mga fruit drinks, etc. Okay? And here, we're gonna compute how much is the taxes na nadagdagan. So dito, first of all, the excise tax on sweetened beverages. Okay? Meron siyang 2 rates. Okay? First, it's 6 pesos. And second of all, it's 12 pesos. Okay? Ngayon, when is it 6 pesos? When is it 12 pesos? It depends on what type of sweetener you use. Okay? For 12 pesos, if you use, forgive my pronunciation, high fructose corn syrup. Ayun. High fructose corn syrup. Medyo nabubulol ako sa fructose. Pag nagsama sa corn tsaka sa syrup. High fructose corn syrup. Okay? Pero ang 6 pesos, dito naman kung ito ay caloric or non-caloric sweeteners. Okay? Yan lang po yung gates natin, madali lang, okay? Easy to memorize. 6 and 12. Pag caloric, basta pag may word na caloric, 6 pesos. But if may word na high fructose corn syrup, 12 pesos na po siya. Here in our problem, anong ginamit? Anong ginamit na bilang sweetener? Non-caloric. Kaya automatic, 6 pesos. Question, how do we compute the total excise tax? Saan naka-base ang 6 pesos? Okay? Ang rates natin is based on per liter. Okay? For example, isang Coke, bote ng Coke na 1.5 liters. Ginagamit niya is, let's say, caloric. 1.5 liter ng Coke bottle ha. Magkano ang ano niya excise tax? 6 times 1.5, 9 pesos. Okay? Yun yung ano, pag sa mga nakabote-bote in liquid form. Paano naman dito sa situation? Powdered juice. Ano maging basis natin? Ang basis natin is yung serving suggestion niya. Okay? Isa sa reasons kung bakit may serving suggestion or importante talaga may serving suggestion is para alam natin kung how much taxes we're gonna impose on that powdered fruit drink. Okay? So sabi dito, ang serving suggestion per sachet is 1.6 liters times 6 pesos. Okay? Pero dito, we're gonna compute how much for the total 60 cases. Okay? So times 60 cases times how many sachet per case? 138. So, pag times natin itong lahat, magkano ang makukuha natin? 1.6. Sana same tayo ng sagot. 1.6 times 6 times 60 times 38 is equal to, ay, mali yung pagkapindot ko. 1.6 plus 6 times 60 times 138 is equal to, hopefully same tayo ng sagot. Nung pagka-times ko, 79,488. Okay? Again, the answer is 79,488. Okay? Nakuha ba? Sana nakuha. And na further expound yung knowledge natin about excise taxes. Next, preferential taxation. Ayan. So this question will talk about more on the special deduction when it comes sa salaries to senior citizen and PWDs. Ngayon, ano yung special deduction natin dito? Pag ikaw isang senior citizen, meron kang additional deduction ng 15%. While ikaw ay PWD, additional 25%, okay? Para sa business to ha. Kaya mga businesses, in order to further encourage to employ senior citizen and PWDs, nagbibigay po sila ng additional deduction sa salaries na binibigay sa kanila. Pag senior citizen, 15%, pag PWD, 25%, okay? So the question here is, how much is the net taxable income? So dito medyo straightforward ko na ha. So minus ito, minus. So pag na-minus natin itong lahat, ano to, question number 8, ang makuha natin is 1 million minus 100 minus 150 minus 300 minus 250 is 200 pesos or 200,000. Okay? Next, apply na natin yung additional deduction natin. So, sabi dito, 25% or 20% ng 250 ay sweldo sa senior citizen, okay? So, 250 times 20%, I think it's 50,000. Tapos sa PWD, 250 times 25% equals to 62.5. Okay? So dito, magkano ang additional deduction natin for salaries given to senior citizen? The answer is 7,500. Tapos dito sa PWD, it's 15,625. So here, our total net taxable income is 200,000 minus 7.5 minus 15,675 is 176,875 pesos. Okay? Easy to remember. Again, pag senior citizen, 15%. Pag PWD, it's 25%. Next, isa sa mga neglected na laws sa taxation na recently lang na binigay ng pansin. And that is the preferential taxation on athletes. Ngayon kasi, mas na-emphasize sa atin yung senior citizens and PWDs. But unknowingly, may ano rin may preferential taxation, may discounts rin ang mga athletes natin under RA 10699. Actually, ito yung unfortunate 2015 pa yung law na ito. Again, 2015 pa ito. But the BIR only gave it binigay ng emphasis, okay? Nag-release lang siya ng revenue regulation just I think it's 2020 or 2019 lang, around the end of 2019. Mga last quarter, mga around October to December. 'Di ba? Bakit? Bakit bigla yung BIR bigla nag-release ng ng revenue regulation tungkol dito since 2015 pa siya. 2015 pa yung law, pero bakit ngayon pa lang? Bakit last year pa lang? Because of the SEA Games. Okay? Because of the Southeast Asian Games. Alam niyo na yan, diba? So, ayaw ko na mag-dive in dyan. Diyan lang binigay ng pansin yung respeto o yung respect natin sa mga athletes, diba? In the past few years, since 2015, kailan nyo muna irinig yung mga sa news ng mga athletes or binibigay sa special recognition? Noong 2019, diba? And dyan lang yun binigay ni BIR ng recognition. Okay? So, as a way to to spread awareness rin about this law, and at the same time, baka lumabas sa board exam, I'm gonna discuss this question. Okay? So, an athlete brought a meal in McDonald's for a normal price of 224 pesos, including VAT. How much will the national athlete pay McDonald's if the athlete availed the benefits under 10699? Okay. Sa senior citizen, siya sa PWD, pag bumili ka sa McDonald's, meron kayong 20% discount plus VAT exemption, 'di ba? Pero what if isa kang athlete? Okay, or isang national athlete? You are entitled to a 20% discount but no VAT exemption. At yan yung key difference lang dalawa. So how do you compute kung magkano yung babayad niya? How do you compute the discount? Ganito lang po. 224 siya ha. Remember, inclusive siya ng VAT. First step, tanggalin natin yung VAT. So 224 divided by 1.12 equals to 200 pesos, diba? So that means 24 pesos is the VAT. Take note kasi mamaya gagamitin natin to. Tapos, kung wala ng VAT, dyan lang din siya i-apply yung discount na 20% na worth 40 pesos. Diba? At tong 40 pesos, ito yung discount na ibibigay natin. So, the answer is 224 minus 40 equals to 184 pesos. Okay? The VAT will remain the same amount. Kahit 160 pesos na siya yung base niya, 24 pa rin yung VAT Okay? Again, the VAT will not be affected. May discount o wala, same pa rin. Okay? Basta yung step una, tanggalin mo yung VAT and dyan with the times yung 20%. Ha? Tapos minus mo na sa total amount, including VAT, yan na po ang ibabayad mo. Unfortunately, may nakwento rin sa akin, isang dati, na na may siyang family member na siya, national athlete. Okay? Kasi bukod dito, may mga rin sila may mga discounts rin sila sa mga needs nila, like sa mga medicines, sa mga maintenance nila, at sa mga ibang kailangan ng athletes. Tapos, bumili siya ng vitamins, yung athlete, which is dapat subject sa unfortunately, sa isang big pharmacy store. Unfortunately, hindi siya binigay ng discount. Even though na-satisfy lahat ng requisites, hindi siya binigay ng discount. Question, bakit? Kasi ang company nila is walang guidelines for that. Okay? Walang guidelines sa company nila for that. Unfortunately enough, yung sad reality. Pag po na kasi iba't ibang stores, try mo mag-ask kung nagbibigay saan ng discount sa athletes, sabihin, ay, hindi po kami aware dyan. Alam lang po namin senior citizen and PWD. Okay? And hopefully, because of this question, na-spread. Okay? Malay mo, baka sa inyo maging accountant ng ano, 'di ba? Isang malaking company, sasabihin nyo, ay, dapat may discount mga athletes. Okay? Yun lang. And punta tayo sa pinaka last question for today. And hopefully naging informative ang last question, ang question na. Informative ba? I think it's formative naman. And medyo panibago. Okay? And lastly, punta na tayo sa last question natin. All about VAT. Okay? All about VAT. Well, dapat this lecture dapat talaga is about VAT eh. Pero yan, ni-revise ko last minute para, ayan, alam mo naman, bala na. Okay? So let's now try answering this last question. So here, how much is the VAT payable? Okay? Ngayon, last question na. So here, basahin natin yung problem. Lahira is a manufacturing of cooking oil made from locally sourced grapes and corn since 2015. However, Lahiraya is classified as a VAT-registered company at the start of 2019. The following transaction has occurred during the first quarter of 2019. Given, if Lahiraya only purchased from non-VAT-registered suppliers, how much is the VAT payable for the first quarter of 2019? Well, una sa lahat, pagtungo sa VAT, remember, we must compute the output tax and the input tax. Okay? Again output tax and input tax. Yung output tax is straightforward. 3,590 times 12% is equal to, wait lang, calcu. Sana, pag kung may tayong discrepancy sa pag-compute i-chat nyo lang, okay lang. 430,800 pesos, okay? So, ito yung output VAT natin. Wala masyadong complications dito. Ang reason ko bakit nilagay na question is because of the input VAT. First, remember, Lahiraya only purchased from non-VAT registered suppliers. Again, only from non-VAT registered suppliers. Because of that statement, automatically, all of this has no VAT or no input VAT. Okay? So, input VAT natin is automatic zero. So, sabihin, yung VAT payable natin is 430,800. Ganun ba? No. Hindi lang po ganun kadali. Okay? Again, this is one of the key concepts. Okay? Kaya hindi ito basta-basta ganyan kadali. Let's try reading again the first paragraph. Manufacture po siya ng cooking oil. And naging VAT registered lang siya at the start of 2019. Because of this, pag ikaw isang manufacturer ng cooking oil, you can avail the presumptive input VAT. Okay? Kahit wala kang binayad na input VAT, you're entitled to input VAT. Second, nag-register siya. Naging VAT registered lang siya at the start of 2019. Because of this, you're entitled to a transitional input VAT. Okay? Kaya ito po ang two concepts na gusto ko i-tour sa inyo today. Presumptive input VAT, hindi siya pwede kung sino-sino pwede avail, only those who manufactures in the sardines, mackerel, cooking oil, refined sugar, mga ganun. Okay, sila lang po pwede mag-avail ng presumptive input VAT. Ngayon, ang transitional input VAT, kung ito yung first quarter o yung very first quarter mo, maging VAT taxpayer. Itong first quarter of 2019, is it their first time to be paying VAT? Yes. Ito yung first time nila magbayad ng VAT. Ganito yung first time nila, they are entitled to a transitional input VAT. Okay? From the word itself, transition. From non-VAT to VAT, nag-transition. Ngayon, anong basis natin dito? Presumptive input VAT is 4%, while transitional input VAT is 2%. Okay? 4% of what? 4% of agricultural products. Okay? Again, 4% of agricultural products. Ngayon, punta tayo sa purchases niya. Saan dito ang agricultural products? The agricultural products here is obviously corn and grapes. Okay? So ito pong dalawa magiging basis natin for the 4%. So 470 plus 240 times 4%, So ang presumptive input VAT natin is, wait lang, calculate ko lang, calculate 470 plus 240 times 4% equals to 28,400. Next, how about transitional input VAT? Anong basis niya? Dito sa transitional input VAT, remember, nag-transition tayo from non-VAT to VAT. Okay? Ang basis niya po is not the purchases, but the beginning inventory. Okay? Ano beginning inventory niya? This 4. Okay? Dito sa transitional input VAT, hindi po siya nagdi-discriminate. Okay? Sabi niya, equality for all. Hindi po siya nagdi-discriminate. So, ano ibig sabihin ko dyan? Basta inventory, pasok siya sa 2%. Okay? Kasali siya sa computation ng 2%. Okay? Kahit agricultural product, kahit subjected sa VAT, kahit hindi subjected sa VAT, kasama po siya sa computation ng 2%. So 150 plus 360 plus 230 plus 45 times 2% times 2%. So transitional input VAT is equals to 15,700 pesos. Okay? Ngayon na, to emphasize lang rin sa transitional input VAT, ano kasi siya, ang rule niya, it's higher between the actual VAT and yung 2% rule. Okay? Here, in this question, bakit hindi ko na-apply yung actual VAT? Kasi po, again, there's no input VAT. Kasi non-VAT registered suppliers po siya bumibili. Diba? Ano? Yun, may tawag dito? Actual VAT nga siya. Kasi dito, zero ang actual VAT natin. Di ba may sinabi sa regulation na exempt purchase of VAT exempt? Ay, kasama siya. Ay, sorry, ano ba to? Sorry, medyo na-distract ako. Di VAT exempt goods. Ay, sorry. O nga pala, sorry. Medyo nadala ako. Saan ba ako? Ay, sino to? Cristian Law. Si ano? Okay. Sorry, sorry na, bulang napansin. So, medyo erase ko lang to. Alas na ba yung eraser? Lang. Okay. So again, sa actual VAT, syempre natin na-apply dahil zero po siya. Ngayon sa 2%, dito lang po natin plus siya i-apply, sorry. Sa 230, siya sa 45. Medyo nadala ako dito sa kanina. Sorry. Ngayon, ano pala, bulang may nag-raise, thank you, na yung corn tsaka grapes, again, exempt po siya. Okay? Since exempt po siya, hindi po siya talaga subjected sa VAT, okay? So siya, ang kasama lang po dito is yung 2% dito sa 230 tsaka sa 45. Kaya dito, ang computation natin is, sorry, sa transitional input VAT, it's 230 plus 45 times 2%, it's 5.5. Okay? So, ang ano natin dito, it's 430. So, ito yung output VAT natin ng 430,800 minus yung presumptive input VAT natin from the corn and grapes na 28,400 minus 258 sa transitional input VAT. So, 430,800 minus 3,800 minus 28,400 minus 5,800, it's 396,600. Okay. I think it's okay na tayo dito. Okay. I think okay na tayo. 350, okay. So yan pa yung final answer natin, 396,600. Okay, so sorry sa pala, sa una. Okay, tungkol sa transitional input VAT. Pero yung presumptive input VAT, same pa rin. Tapos transitional input VAT, 2% ng beginning inventory, except yung mga exempt sa VAT. Okay? So, yan. Any questions or regarding the previous questions? Clear na ba tayo? Excise tax, preferential tax, okay? So, thank you po sa Tristan Lopez. Okay. So, sorry pala. Okay. So, I think we're good na. Okay? So, kanina ang nano natin is hopefully na ano tayo na unting update pa tayo tungkol sa tax remedies. Remember, from informal conference, naging ano na, notice of discrepancy based on Revenue Regulation 22-2020. Next, sa Bayanihan 2, medyo nag-go over na natin to. And remember, sa repeal ng IPO. Okay? Next naman, sa local taxation, remember, magbabayad ka ng professional tax kung saan mo pinapractice yung profession mo. Okay? Hindi kung saan ka nakatira, but based on where you're mainly exercising your profession. Next naman sa 8% tax, remember sa 250 ha, sa mixed income earner, you will not reflect the 250 sa pag-compute ng 8% dahil reflected na po siya sa income tax table natin. Okay? Again, yung 250 pag sa mixed income, wag mo na siya isali sa 8% ha, dahil again, included na siya sa compensation. Next, donor's tax. Ayan, sabi ko sa inyo, yung kung when subject sa donor's tax. Income tax on individual sa OSD. Remembering, magkaibang tax basis nila ha. Pag individual, gross sales or receipts. Pag corporation, abing tawag dyan? Gross income. Excise tax sa sweet and beverages, 6 pesos and 12 pesos. Preferential taxation na additional deduction. Pero ano pala ha, may additional requisites pa ito ha. Dito kasi, assume na natin na nasatisfy yung requisites. For example, sa senior citizens, kailangan yung ano niya is not below the poverty line. So preferential taxation, yan nga, sa athletes. And lastly, sa VAT. Remembering, sa preferential income tax and income tax tuloy. Presumptive input VAT and sa transitional input VAT. Okay? So, with that, have a very, very good night to all of you and see you on our next lesson, hopefully sa CPA OR. Okay? And have a very, very good night. So, wala namang questions, no? Thank you sa lahat ng nanood.